Hey guys, it is Monday here in West Virginia, so it's time for us to do our Mopar Monday unboxing. And we're going to do that here at Mr. Norm's Grand Spalding Dodge Diorama. Uh, don't use it every Mopar Monday, but it is cool to use occasionally. I just wish it was in a better spot that was more convenient to film from. It's a little awkward to film from here, but it's okay. It's worth doing every now and then. So today we are cracking open a couple of Plymouth Dusters, and no, I have not watched a new show, Duster. Have not seen it yet. It is intrigued me some, but I still have not taken the opportunity to watch it. But I know that a lot of people say it's pretty good. Today, we got a line of A-bodies here in front of us because that's what the Plymouth Duster is. It's an A-body. And so are the Dodge Darts and the Dodge Demons and the Plymouth Valiant and such. Basically, the two-door coupe style car like this is your Dodge Dart, and Plymouth's version was called the Plymouth Valiant. They've been around for a while, and before 1970, even the Barracuda was considered an A-body. The Dart always has been. I think maybe not in 62, but like in 63, 64. I think that's when they started calling them A-bodies. I'm not sure about the 62 and before. But anyways, definitely the 63 and laters were A-bodies, and the Barracuda, since it's been alive all the way till 1970, it was an A-body. Then they turned it to an E-body platform. And anyways, the other A-body that the Plymouth Duster is, it's the fastback looking one, like this here, and it first appeared in 1970 and such. And the Dodge Demon pretty much is the same car, just it had the front clip of the Dodge Dart, and the Duster had the front clip of the Valiant. Basically, the tail lights were different, but besides the tail lights being different, the body from the firewall back was the same car. Then that's the same with the Dodge Dart and the Valiant too. They were pretty much the same cars. I think the Valiant and Dart differed a little bit more than the Duster and Demon. Then in 73, because of like some criticism of the Christian community, predominantly the Baptist community in the South east of America, were complaining and petitioning that Dodge dropped the name Demon. So they did. In 73, the name changed to the Dart Sport. So yeah, that's the reason that the Demon nameplate only survived for 71 and 72. And that's another thing. The fastback style body did not come out for Dodge until 71, whereas it came out for Plymouth in 70. So a little background story on your Dusters and Demons and Darts and Valiant and such. But today we're unboxing a couple of older ones. This guy here is really old. It's over 20 years old. This was released in 2005 when Play Mantis still had Johnny Lightning. And this one is from 2020 when Round 2 has, well, they still have Johnny Lightning. Anyways, we'll start with the old one first. And this is this guy here in Sublime Green. This is a 71 Plymouth Duster. And the other one is also 71. And the 70 to 72, I think the option of the Shark Tooth grill was available for all 3 years. It wasn't a standard issued grill. The standard issue grill is this one's got a shark tooth even in the picture. I think all of Johnny Lightning's has a shark tooth, which is the most in demand. Everybody loves a shark tooth grill. But anyways, The standard one was the same as the Valiant, and it didn't matter if you had a 340 car or the H code 340 car, still could have a standard grill. As I mentioned, the shark tooth was an option, and same thing with scoops on the hood. As you can see, that both of these dusters that we're going to unbox do not have scoops on their hood. Just the diagonal 340 wedge sticker, and actually that wedge sticker you could not get with scoops as far as what I can remember from the factory. If somebody does have like the twin scoops or the dual snorkel scoop, that I think the snorkel scoop came out more in 72. The single scoops like that were on Super Bs and such, they were popular on the A-bodies for 70 and 71. I think in 72 is when the snorkel scoop first appeared. It may have popped up in 71, I don't remember. But anyways, let's see here. Do these guys? Yeah. These guys have the single snorkel, or the single scoops on each side. These are the same thing that like a 70 Super B would have had, as you can see. They may have been slightly different. The Super B ones may have been a little different, but I'm not sure on that. Because I know in the early 70s, Chrysler started doing a lot where they could use parts universally, especially in 72. So anyways, but it's same theme, same style, the two single scoops, and then in 72 they had the the dual snorkel scoop, but it was just one scoop in the middle. And anyways, this duster here doesn't have any scoops, and I think it has the 340 wedge blacked out, maybe. No, it doesn't. This is the counterpart to the other one, the 2020. It does have matte black 340 stripe on the side and the matte black tail panel stripe, which is cool, and the famous shark tooth grill. And it has bumperettes. I think they all have bumperettes. But anyways, let's get this guy cracked open and take a look at him. This is when they were trying to push this reusable package back in the early 2000s when Playmanis had it. It's a good concept, kinda, if you wanted to open it, but you still had to cut the bottom of the blister, and then you could, well, I had it where it would open earlier. Let me see if I can still do this and get it open without destroying. There we go. Yeah. See, and then this part in here stays glued to the card, and then you can pop this back down. It still, as you can see, tears the paper of the card, so it is not for carded collectors. They probably would not want to use this option, but people like me that like to open everything and such, and sometimes keep the packages to display differently later on, these are ideal. These are awesome. Or like the clamshell package that M2 used that first appeared on their square body Miho editions, and they did it for like the first 3 releases of their square bodies, where it was a clamshell package that actually opened like a Protecto pack. And I don't know why they did away with it, but that was a really cool concept. But it only appeared on a couple of their square body Miho hobby releases, and that's the only time I ever seen them. And then they went back to using the sealed clamshell style. So here is the Duster, the 71 Duster from the Classic Gold series in 2005 from Johnny Lightning Plymouth. It is the sublime green with black duster stripes, black go wing, and a black outlined 340 with black wedge lettering. The other one I'll show you, it's usually the hood is blacked out and then the numbers are written in white, and the wedge is written in red. Yeah, there's a lot of tongue-twisting words there. Wedge, red wedge. So having a difficult time there. But anyways, as you can see, opening hood. Nice detail with the shark tooth grill. Awesome looking grill. I helped one of my friends restore a Petty Blue 72, and when it had a shark tooth grill, and it was really a nice looking duster. And the tail lights on the Duster, I think, were the same 70 through 72 as what I can remember. And the the Demon was the same 71 and 72. Tail lights were the same. The only thing that changed was the marker lights. From 70 to 71, Dusters probably had the same marker lights. I'm not 100% sure on it, but pretty sure that 70 and 71 shared the same marker lights and had the same tail lights. I think even 72 had the same tail lights, but the marker lights changed. They became the ones that were exposed, like they're not flush mounted and kind of recessed into the quarter and fender. They actually were protruding. They set on top of the fender, just had a couple little mail-ins that went through two holes on the quarter panel and fender and a bigger hole in the center for your light to go through. And actually Mopar used those marker lights for like 2 decades, because they used them from 72 until the mid 90s, all the way up on their Dodge Rams and such. They were using them. So that's a fun fact. The marker lights on the cars, the trucks, and everything were the same from 72 onward to the early 90s. So this is a good looking car. I will be happy to put that with my A-bodies. I want to find the classic gold. And the classic gold series, it was actually not classic gold, it was just the gold series. They were really high end Johnny Lightnings, pretty much the same as the classic gold, except undercarriages were detailed. The exhaust was painted, and the Mopars were painted body color underneath to look like the real thing. The GMs were painted black, and then they had detailed exhaust, and the bottom of the motors were detailed. And they also had a reusable clamshell package, like a Protecto pack. There is an awesome Hemi Orange 71, I believe it is. It probably is 70, 71, doesn't matter, same car. And it is a beautiful car. I do need to find that. There was one on eBay for $18. I just couldn't bring myself to paying that much for it, but it sold, so somebody did. I think it's because of the show Duster. But his car looks more red, what I've seen in the pictures, than the Tor, well, not Tor Red, but Hemi Orange. They also call it Tor Red, but it's really orange, red orange. So now moving along to number 2. This is what they call Curious Yellow. And this has the color match steel rims with dog dish poverty caps. And this has no go wing. And it is still a very nice looking car. Now this has some fun facts for us to read. And it says Curious Yellow is one of 5 high impact colors from Plymouth from 1971 under the Dodge brand. This color was called Citron Yellow. So they had different names, like one called the Pink Moulin Rouge, the other one called it Panther Pink, and then there was the green, one Sublime, one Sassy Grass. So yeah, each one called it different, but it was the same color. So anyways, in 1971, all exterior references to the Plymouth Valiant were removed, including fender badges and Plymouth grill emblems. So yeah, I remember some Dusters having the Valiant emblems on them, so that's why they did that. In 71, 70 was the only year with Valiant badges on them. That's a cool fact to know. So anyways, let's get this guy out and take a look at him. And this is release 1. So the other one, the black one that I showed you earlier, was release 2. And that black stripe around the windows is also part of the hood blackout. As you can see, it's not just the hood that's blacked out. Part of the top of the fenders is blacked out. The whole cowl panel is blacked out, and they should have vents in there. They did have vents, but can't complain too much. And as you can see, it goes up the A-pillar, around the door window and the quarter windows, and back around the top of the door. So it encircles the side glass, as you can see. Another thing cool about these A-bodies, they did not have roll-down quarter windows like GM cars did. These popped out like an extended cab pickup. They had that little fastener latch on the side there, and you popped it out, and they popped open like quarter panel, or like the extended cab pickup truck glass. So that's probably where the extended cab pickups got the idea from. As you can see, it's got the black lines on the tail panel. So really nice looking car. I like the steel rim look. They got the Pentastar on there. All Chrysler cars had that little Pentastar on the bottom of the fender leg on the passenger side. Kind of a unique touch. But that's it, and the hood does open on this one too. I don't know how easily. Yeah, there we go. But they don't open very good. As you can see, it opens. It's got a black snorkel air cleaner on it. That one had a yellowish orange one. But anyways, there we go. I like having them with different options like that, with like the blacked out hood trim. And as you can see, this, as I mentioned, it does have the white numbers. And no, the wedge isn't in red on this one, but I thought the wedge was highlighted in red when they were in white trim with the blacked out hood package. But I could be wrong about that. It just kind of seemed like it. Let me see the... Yeah, they do. See on the package of the advertisement car, the wedge is in red. It was just easier for them to do it all in white. Yeah, I can't blame them. But anyways, yeah, I just like having these different trim options, like the spoiler delete. It's not really a delete. I mean, the Go Wing was an option on those cars. So, it looks good with or without it, in my opinion. If I was building one and making a clone or something, I would put all the options on it. I would have the Go Wing. I would use the scoops. I wouldn't have the caddy corner diagonal wedge logo. I would use scoops. But as you could see, the scoops would interfere with that sticker if you did have them on there. That's why they were two different options. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. The history of the A-body and such. And I will be back again on Wednesday for Wagon Wednesday to unbox at least one, maybe two Buick wagons for you. So be sure to tune in for that and enjoy the start of your week.